So our next topic is about respecting each other's religion and beliefs. And one of the reasons why we're talking about this today, because we've observed that people, let me start with the Christians, for example. I'm a Christian, and one of our instructions from the Bible is to preach the gospel to the world and try to get as many people into the kingdom as possible. Islam to have, they also have an injunction, right? To also maybe minister, I don't know if it's a minister, but to get people to not leave Islam or to even stay in Islam or to convert to Islam. So each of us do have those individual directives from the holy books. Also, I don't know if those who worship traditional religions to have recruiters out there to try to recruit people. I haven't seen much of that. But the conversation is around the fact that, yes, we have that injunction to do that. But at what point do we cross the limit?
For me, personally, as a Christian, I wouldn't personally go, I have never gone to tell anybody, give your life to Christ and stuff like that. I've never done it. Even when...
There's no evangelize.
No, even that time that I just gave my life to Christ and I was bubbling in the Holy Spirit and all of that, I never did that. I focused more on my work. And at the time it happened, people around me saw the difference in the BC they used to know and the B, and they were asking me, what has happened? What has changed? And a few of them followed me. So that's how I believe in it. But I've traveled. I've entered buses where somebody comes and starts, preaching and then starts forcing people and threatening people and making noise. Even me, that I am a Christian, I found it offensive. I found it like you're trying to impose and force. Why don't you give people a chance to get attracted and then ask you the question, why is your life different from mine? What is that thing you have? And then you can lead them to Christ.
For me, this experience is not the same as yours. My own is very nasty and confrontational. Oh. Clear battery and assault cases.
For real?
Clear battery. I remember I was about 24 when I told someone, I said, even though I'm not yet a graduate of law, I just think I should sue you. And so I would sue you. People, because I covered the hijab, no, I'm Muslim. So when you want to come to me, you definitely want to confront me. You're not telling me anything. You're in my face. I used to be very accommodating of people who preach, and especially the Jehovah's Witness.
Catholic school?
I went to a Catholic school. I just loved the conversations. At a very tender age, I kept thinking, where do I want to be about my religion? So if you bring the conversations, I would engage it. I would listen to it. But as I grew up, I started to see the way people broke the line. Someone who said he was my father's friend, knows my father, invites his daughter into the house and said to the daughter, I've known your father for years. He's in the wrong religion, and that's why it's like that. Is that person preaching?
Wow. Wow.
I was sitting in my own house. I am not walking on the streets. Clearly, this is my space. I bought the land. I own that space. You don't just knock on the door. You walk in and force a pamphlet in my face. That's not preaching. That's confronting me. If I wanted to be where you are, I already have friends who live that life, who are the better example that I want to follow. But I waited until I identified this reality. And I got here and I said, I'm okay here. This is what I understand. These are the principles I want to live with. But when you come and say or I post something about my prophet on my page, the ways and lives that I know, my own way of life, and you come there and say to me, Madam, I get it all the time. That's not showing me any love. That's confronting me.
For me, I would say that we take things we don't understand boundaries, and we don't respect people's decisions. And I think that it is very important that we respect people's boundaries, respect people's lives. I have never tried to preach to Nima. Because, I know she's Muslim. I know I've been confronted by other Christians trying to preach to me. And I told the person, you know I'm a Christian, right? I said, yes, I just want you to attend our program. We have one powerful program. I'm like, they are unbelievers. Go and meet them.
I just feel that we are very forceful of trying to bring other people into what we believe is right.
Well, is that forcefulness that brought Christianity and Islam to Africa in the first place?
No. See, I don't.
Is that forcefulness? Because
they brought it. See, if we go there, there's no need for us to be Christians because we already see them as fraudulent. Let's not go there. Don't bring this conversation. My point is, when it comes to what we don't understand or what we feel is right, we try to, and we do it not just on religion, in everything. Once you believe this is my way, you believe your way is the best way, and every other person must follow this way. It's not by force. You're not the one that convicts somebody. It's the Holy Spirit that will do that.
Exactly.
If you do your part, which is live the life, according to the tenets, people will come to you.
Why
You're not the one going from house to house to go and say, you must follow me. Why must I follow you? Why don't you follow me?
Why doesn't practice any of these religions, these two popular ones that we've been discussing, and nobody goes to her or, confronts her?
Inside buses, I always feel like it's a bit insensitive. You just stand up beside the bus and you start preaching. There was the last memory I have of being in the bus and somebody was preaching. I felt like nobody will give their life to Christ like this now. You are wearing mini skirts. You are wearing trousers. You are doing this, but you are doing this. I say, this is not the way to get people to be born again. You are leading people into hellfire. Your trouser will take you to hellfire. Your trouser will take you to hellfire.
So are you going to hellfire like this? Are you going to hellfire like this?
I was preaching, and I was on the phone, and I did like this. And he said, you two cut the call.
Inside public transport.
People have to interfere and say,
why would you do that?
So, but this conversation is about respecting people's boundaries.
But let's talk about how religions was preached. I went to Catholic school. I saw Christianity in the most beautiful way. In the most beautiful way. Nobody forced anybody. I took Ash Wednesdays all through primary school. Nobody forced anybody to do anything. And I used to celebrate the Easter growing up. I came to the reality and I took my Muslim side and I prefer it. But if those in primary school, then they were beating me daily or forcing me, or the sisters would come and they would preach in my face, I would hate. I would have an aversion to it. Yeah. That's the way I see the new system. How do I attend a wedding in a church? They put it on a Sunday, and you do the entire service for more than 5 hours. Before the end of the service, you have to address my hijab. Inside fasting and hunger, how did you want me to accept it, to receive that preaching? That I'm covering my brain inside, and you're the preacher. So people do a lot of disservice to what they think they are promoting in the ways and methods that they use to promote them. There are better ways to do these things. You can live with somebody, beautify the thing. You don't have to be forceful. This forcefulness thing is not working.